What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. The proposed undisputed heavyweight title fight is off, according to several reports. Several outlets are reporting that due to the bilateral rematch clause that both fighters cannot agree on, the fight is over. Take the L out of love. It's over, my brother. It's over. Now, a lot of people, in particularly hardcore boxing fans, were very excited about this undisputed title clash, so we can have an answer to who is the top dog in the heavyweight division. Now, I've stated in several past videos that the two top fighters in the heavyweight division is Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, but many people think it's Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, who holds 3 of the 4 belts. But I just don't base my opinion on belts. I base my opinion on eye tests. And my eye test has told me that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are the 2 best heavyweights in boxing. With all that being said, this undisputed fight was turned down by Saudi Arabia. As we know, over the last several years, Saudi Arabia has had a liking to staging big-time heavyweight fights. Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk 2. Those 2 fights come to mind, but when it came upon their doorstep, the opportunity to stage Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, they said no. Like Red up in Friday, you want some of this, old man? That's what Frank Warren and Clemus, the manager for Usyk, said. They told the Saudi Arabians about a potential matchup with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Y'all want some of this, old man? Saudi Arabia investors who got big pockets, deep wallets, they got that all money. They said no, didn't want to fight. So they had to go to the second option, the UK Wembley Stadium. And that's the same location that Tyson Fury fought Dillian White. And guess what? Tyson Fury knew that he was going to make less money fighting Alexander Usyk than he was going to make fighting. No, then he made fighting Dillian White. Let me say that again. The money that he made fighting Dillian White was much more than the projections of the money that he was going to take home in an Alexander Usyk fight. Therein lies the problem, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a big fight. It's a good legacy fight, but it's not a big fight. It's not about belts no more in boxing today. The biggest fight in boxing is Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. How many belts are on the line for that fight? 0. Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. It was supposed to be undisputed. They couldn't get that fight over the line because it was not enough money to satisfy both parties. So it's not about belts, ladies and gentlemen. Belts do not attract casual boxing fans. Attractions, people that put on the type of fights and put on the type of performances that get the people that's watching that particular fight wanting to see them again. That's what Gervonta Tank Davis has done. That's what Errol Spence Jr. has done. That's what Deontay Wilder has done. And when you count those 3 great fighters, great attraction, how many total belts do we have in those 3 fighters? 3. Unless you want to count Gervonta Tank Davis' minor league belt, which I'm not going to count. 3 belts. The 3 biggest names, you would think they would have at least 6 or 7 belts if you add all them up. You're talking about Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence Jr., and Gervonta Tank Davis. It's not about belts, ladies and gentlemen. This ain't back in the 70s or the 60s or the 50s when we had Joe Louis and Jack Johnson and, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. It's not, the belt don't carry the same weight that it carried yesteryear. That's just the bottom line, and that's just the bottom dollar. That's what's going on in the sport of boxing. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But Fury looked at the money in the pot for a Usyk fight. That's why he wanted 70-30. He was not going to take no 50-50 or 60-40. He offered AJ 60-40 because he knows more money in an AJ fight than it is a Usyk fight. It's not just about the split. It's about what's in the total pot. What fight is big and what fight is not big. It's not about belts all the time. Belts are nice. You look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a top dog at 135 pounds, but he's not the top attraction. at 135 pounds. That is Gervonta Tank Davis. Devin Haney is not even the second biggest attraction at 135 pounds. That goes to Ryan Garcia. So that's what it's all about, man. If you're attraction, you can call the shots. You can be the A-side, no matter if the opponent you fighting has more belts than you have. Look at, we can go back to the Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight, the first fight. Triple G had the belts, but Canelo had the name, and Canelo got a bigger piece of the pie. I think it was a 55-45 split. And that actually was a come up from the original deal. To make the fight, to solidify the fight, Triple G held out and ended up getting 45% of the purse. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires, but very, very interesting developments. Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury appears to be DOA. If that's the case, look for Usyk to take on Dubois, and look for Fury to take on Joyce if Joyce defeats Zhang April 15th. And this will be a very, very good thing for Frank Warren, who promotes Tyson Fury, who promotes George Joyce, and who promotes Daniel Dubois. You can call it the Frank Warren Invitational. You can call it the Frank Warren Heavyweight Tournament. You know, we'll have Fury versus Joyce, and the winner of that will take on the winner of Usyk versus Dubois. In worst case scenario, you're going to have at least one Frank Warren promoted fighter fighting for all the belts, fighting for all the marbles. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Very, very interesting developments. But the projections for a potential Fury versus Usyk is not even better than what Fury versus Dillian White generated. So Fury can has many more options, much better options than Usyk. That's why he's calling the shots. That's why he's the clear A-side. He's the big attraction, and he has more appealing options. He can take on Joyce. That's a huge fight in the UK. That fight will generate higher revenue than Fury versus Usyk in the UK, because you got two UK fighters. You got Fury and Joyce, two UK fighters. That fight would generate more money than Fury versus Usyk, which will be undisputed. Fury can take on Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz has a big name in the UK as he defeated Anthony Joshua in the first fight. Fury versus Andy Ruiz would do bigger numbers than Fury versus Usyk in the UK. Fury can't come over here to the United States, so he would have to fight Andy Ruiz in the UK. That fight would do bigger numbers, in my opinion, than Fury versus Usyk. Or he can fight Wilder for the fourth time, and everybody knows. Everybody, even the Deontay Wilder haters know that Fury versus Wilder 4 would do bigger numbers than Fury versus Usyk for undisputed. And therein lies the problem, ladies and gentlemen. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. My opinion is the fight is over. Take the L out of lover. It's over, my brother. For Fury versus Usyk, we're going to get Fury versus Joyce. I think that's the leader in the clubhouse as far as the next opponent for Fury. And then you look at Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder are also options for the Gypsy King. And then you're looking at Usyk taking a much less appealing fight versus Daniel Dubois. That fight would do good numbers in the UK, but it's not going to offer him the type of payday and a type of fight that can add to his legacy that a Tyson Fury fight would do for Alexander Usyk. He'll take on Daniel Dubois. According to Fury, he will make $2 million, and that will be much, much less than he will make even at 30% taking on Tyson Fury. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I'll holla.